In year 10, the Red Diamond Clique was worried about which one of the major powers out there in the universe was going to come clap their cheeks. In year 100, they just cruise around the universe clapping whose ever cheeks is happy to be standing in their way. And the main person you gotta worry about is Hope Summers, aka Debo. My name is Dorian, this is SCM Comics, and we are covering the complete Sinister series with Immoral X-Men number 2. Our story takes place at the edge of the Pact system. The Red Diamond Clique is trying to snatch the chains off the Creed, the Skrulls, and the Regellian. The Shi'ar used to be with them, but they split off and we saw what happened to them. If you didn't see, it's no problem, your boy got you covered. The playlist is going to be in the description. You'll be looking for Nightcrawlers number 2. And this is why the British make such good villains. Kieron Gillen has given me a good bad guy line in all the Immortal and Immortal X-Men books, and in this one he does not disappoint. So Hope is just itching for some action, and she goes, "Hope to Fleet, who do you believe in?" And the words burst on the speakers, the most feared word across the galaxy: Hope. God, that's gangster. So she just bursts out the ship and she flies right past a Super Skrull, but don't worry, her boy Exodus takes the Super Skrull right out. How do we know? Because as he's coming down, he's holding one of his arms in his hand. So like Lil Wayne would say, now you know he dead. And then she just does a Black Widow landing. Now the reason why she's there is because the Red Diamond Clique needs eyes on the ground so they know exactly where to send the L-Bomb. The L-Bomb is a 4-gift chimera. The mutants that make up this chimera is Lila Cheney. Now she's like Nightcrawler, she's a teleporter, but she's like Nightcrawler times a million. She can do interstellar teleporting, so doesn't matter how far it is, as long as you know where it's at and you can see it, she can teleport it there. You also have Firestar. Now she has the ability to tap into the Earth's electromagnetic field and turn it into microwave radiation emissions. You see it started coming together. Now you also have Henry Leland. Now he is an old school dude from the Hellfire Club back in the 1970s and 80s. He has the ability to control gravity. He can increase the mass of like a person or an object. And then you got Micro Max, who is pretty much Ant-Man. I mean, he can grow big or grow small. And that is your L-Bomb. And as you can see, it is extremely effective. So the ship is powered on the dead remains of clones. That's either clones killed in action and they was able to recover the body, or clones that died of old age, which this shouldn't be because there are plenty of mutants that live for a long time that Sinister could just give the gifts of. There's Logan, there's Mystique, there's Destiny, there's hell. Sinister himself has been around for centuries. But Hope is pretty much thinking to herself, now that they dropped the L-Bomb on the Creed and the Skrull, this war is pretty much over with. She wants a new war because she gets bored pretty easily. But before she goes to the Quiet Council about that, they're going to check on Mister Sinister because he has finished the ultimate chimera, and that is Rasputin IV. She is a 5-gift chimera and she's about to fight a whole bunch of Mystiques. And the first thing Charles says is, Rasputin IV, what happened to 1 through 3? And Sinister's like, 4 gifts is tricky. 5. I meant to say 5. I wasn't going to get on the first try, but I nailed it on the 4th one. So this is pretty much their mutant hero, the captain that's going to hop into the ship and go forth and help to take over other star systems and possibly other realities. And the first thing out of redheaded Debo's mouth as she's kicking this Mystique clone that's dead is, so when we're going to work on the 6th gift. And Sinister's like, nope. 5 is the limit. We can't go any further than that. So now the original 4 mutants that were first Sinisterized in Immortal X-Men number 10 are pretty much talking amongst themselves, and they're like, if he can't do any better than this, then why do we need to keep him around? And they pretty much start to execute a plan to get rid of Mister Sinister. So Sinister goes back to his quarters and he sees this book and he's wondering what the hell is doing there, and he picks it up and he says, this is old English. God, I hate magic. He also knows it's magic. And then Mother Righteous comes out of nowhere. It's like, well, I'm as magic can get. And Sinister's like, who are you? And she's like, answers are in the book. And he's like, what's in the book? She goes, answers are in the book. And he goes, coming from the shadows, acting all ominous. He's like, I invented this game. And she goes, really? Answers in the book. She goes, look, if you want the key, all you gotta say is thank you. And Sinister goes, thank you. And Mother Righteous goes, have fun, ducky. There goes that duck thing again. It must be a Sinister thing. So in the book, she pretty much explains to Mister Sinister how they are both clones of the original Nathaniel Essex, and how there's not just the two of them, there's also two more. So she starts to explain the other clones. She goes, there's a cosmic power one, that's Orbis Solaris. You don't know him, but he's a big weirdo who floats around through the cosmos in a golf ball of his own piss. I was like, what the hell? She said, then there's post-humanity, that's Dr. Stasis. She's like, you know him, but don't worry, I offed him when he gave me a bit of lip. If you're surprised that Dr. Stasis is dead and you want to find out how, links in the playlist, you look up Nightcrawlers #1. Then she goes, there's magic, that's me, Mother Righteous, at your service. And then there's the X Factor, that's you. So then she goes, now this is where it gets interesting. Different roads, same destination, to survive the machines, to escape the machines. If you become a dimension, the word is dominion. He'll be here all week, folks. Outside of space and time, they can't touch you. And he just goes, yeah, I know. That's what you're shooting for. We're all shooting for it. Well, we're shooting for it in the case of poor old Dr. Stasis. And then she goes, can we beat the machines and ascend to a higher plane of life? And just as importantly, can we beat each other? Because there's only room for one top dog in this game, and that's going to be me. To be continued. So Sinister says something interesting. Mother Righteous goes, so how's your existential crisis going? And he goes, please, all you guys are imposters. I was born of the red diamond from Apocalypse. I remember that, so I'm the original. And then he goes, but pretty much I'm going to win the race anyway because magic is nonsense. And then she goes, yeah, but you use DNA and you pretty much use 4 basic letters. That's A, C, T, G. Me, I use 26. So I'm better than you. Toodles. So Sinister's like, this is really good information, but for me to utilize it, I need to get to my Myris, and I need to do it before the Quiet Council deals with me. So he knows that the Quiet Council is pretty much going to be dealing with him pretty soon. So now on the next page, Hope pretty much is saying that how the Quiet Council agreed to move and get rid of Sinister once they're done with the Chitauri. Now, Chitauri are the race that Thanos used to attack Earth in the first Avengers movie. So then Hope does her thing again. She does her Black Widow landing, and she's next to Exodus. And then on the next page, she falls to the ground, and she's like, where in the hell did Exodus go? And Exodus starts talking to her mentally and is like, I'm far enough away till you can't copy my powers. And this is why I feel like Sync might be more powerful than Hope. Now, before you start calling me all kinds of names in the comments, let me explain. Now, Hope's mutant power is that she can copy any mutant's powers that is in her proximity. Sync can do the same thing. The difference between the two, there's 2 subtle differences. Hope can only copy other mutant powers. Sync has the ability to copy any mutant's powers, but he can also copy any superhuman's powers. So he can copy the Hulk, he can copy Captain America, he can copy Spider-Man, he can copy Venom. Now, Sync also has the ability to remember people's powers. Once you leave Hope's proximity, like Exodus says, you're just a girl with a gun. If it was Sync that was there, he has the ability to remember. If he copied like maybe Spider-Man's powers, he can start using Spider-Man's powers, or the people that are down there, he can start copying their powers because they're not mutants, but they are superpowered individuals, and he can copy their powers. So the only thing that Hope might have over Sync is that when she copies your powers, she can use your powers to its maximum. Like, even if you can't use it to its maximum, she can use it to its maximum capability. But right now, it doesn't matter because, like Exodus said before, right now she's just a girl with a gun, and she's about to get murdered because the Quiet Council is done messing with her, and they'll just start over and clone her again. And then in true bad guy fashion, as she is fighting and losing to the Chitauri, she goes to herself, I might be the first of the Quiet Council to be taken out, but I'll damn sure won't be the last. So then it cuts to Sinister, and he's with Rasputin IV and he injects her with something. He's like, this is the last treatment I need to give you. And then all of a sudden her diamond disappears. She's unsinisterized. And he's pretty much like, look, I made a mistake doing all these sinisters. I need to undo this mistake, but to do it, I need your help. And he pretty much gets on his knees and says, please help me recover my Myra so that I can restart this reality over, because this was a huge mistake. Plus, I don't want to die. So they were able to steal the starship that they're supposed to use to go conquer the rest of the universe in. And now they're on their way to try to find out where in the hell Sinister's secret lab is.